What is going on, YouTube? I don't know. I ain't got much to say. Let's see if anything comes to me in a bit. But we're shooting for 15. Last time we did 14. So only makes sense to do 15 now. Alrighty. And that is the top end of the rep range. So back, or technically it's not back offset. I'll match that for the next one. And then next week during the same workout, I'll have to go up a little bit. Maybe 5 pounds, maybe 10. We'll have to see how I'm feeling. Whew, a little winded. It's also a little bit nippy on this side of the gym. So that's always fun. Working out in the cold is so fun. I recommend it. And if you can't pick up sarcasm, that was sarcasm. Whew. Alrighty. Got a match 15. Let's see what we can do. Oh. Alrighty, on to the next exercise. Alrighty. Whew. My least favorite exercise. And we're doing a new weight. Oh, let's see how well I can do it. When I say it's my least favorite, I just really mean I suck at it. But whew, let's shoot for 8 to 10. All right, 9's not too bad. All right, back off set time. Shooting for 10 to 12. This is also a new weight, so if I were to just hit 10, that'd be perfectly fine. But let's just see. As long as my form is great, that's all I'm really caring about. 10. Perfect. Alrighty. Now, on to one of my favorite movements, the Nautilus pull-down machine thingy. I have no clue what you call it, or sorry, just checking my mic's on. I have no clue what you call it, but I like the curve of it, like the strength curve and all that. So, yeah. Let's sorry guys, I'm a bit sleepy today, but whatever. Shooting for 9. Hit 8 last time. There's 9. Let's see if I can get 10. Ugh. 10 was not happening, but hey, I fucking fought for it. Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay, I actually fucking need a second before I go into that second set because I really fought for number 10 even though it didn't happen. So I'll match 9 on this arm, of course, but need a second to recoup. Let me make sure mic is on. Check. All right. So mic is in fact on. And what I was gonna say was, I just read a book called The Courage to be Disliked. And it basically follows a psychologist, like philosophy or whatever you want to call it, called Adlerian psychology, which basically, I'm going to reread the book because I'm sure there was a lot of information and I read it in a short amount of time, but I'm going to reread it. What I got out of it was that essentially, life has no meaning to it, but that doesn't mean it's valueless. Life has no general meaning, and the meaning it has is based upon the individual and based upon what meaning you give to it. So if you want life to just fucking suck, life's gonna fucking suck. As simple as that. Another thing I got out of it was that, trauma isn't real. Yes, traumatic things happen, but most of the time when people describe trauma, they're using it as an excuse to do or not do something in particular. So if you go, well, one time I went into the ocean, I got fucking attacked by fish, and now I won't go into the ocean. Well, you're seeking some sort of, attention, or I'm not good at words, but you have a goal with saying things like that. You're looking for some sort of attention or some sort of validation from others in order to not do something. When instead you can just look at it as a negative experience that happened, and maybe there's something to learn from it. And basically, what I'm trying to say is stop making fucking excuses for yourself to not do certain things, like go to the gym because you're scared of other people and what other people think and things of that nature. And just start, doing things for better purposes. There's no good or bad, but what you define as good or bad, if that makes any sense. Nobody can tell you that's good. Nobody can tell you that's bad. And, there's like general things like don't kill people and shit like that, right? But, you can justify anything. Why not justify doing something productive for yourself, like going to the gym and taking care of your health and, just doing better in life, doing something to better yourself rather than, oh, I have all these traumatic experiences. That's why, my life sucks. Shift your perspective, change for what you think is better, and maybe you'll become a better person, and maybe life will just feel a lot better. And you know, not calling anybody out in particular, just if you're ever feeling down on yourself or anything like that, just remember it really is mind over matter. You create the world you live in. Why not live in the world you want to live in? And if that's a positive one, fucking make it a positive one. Yeah, I think that's enough yapping. I think it's time for me to match 9. Oh. Okay, I definitely could do 10, but I had to stop myself. But I matched. That's what's really important. Alrighty. Back off set. Oh, that's awesome. Remember, guys, I'm not intelligent. I didn't even switch the weight. Almost made it oopsie, but it's okay. Caught my mistake. There we go. Alrighty. Last time, I did 11, so gotta shoot for 12. I think it's doable. I think it's very doable today. Thirteen and a half. Told you it was doable. More than doable. Oh. So now we will match 13 on this side. Oh. Now, see if I could do it in one go. See if I lost any strength. There it is. Alrighty. So now we're shooting for 9. See what we can do. Ugh. Fucking A, 9 is all she wrote. See what we can do on this side. Ugh. Alrighty. Just finished talking with my good friend Thomas. All right. Anyways, last time I did 11 with this weight, so we're shooting for 12, and I've had a long enough break. $13. Alrighty, that's good. Surpassed the intended rep range, but honestly, nothing to cry about. It's a good thing. So now we just have to match it. Alrighty. Let's get it. Sorry for the vacuum in the background. Not really sorry. She's just doing her job. But last time we did this, 8 was the number we hit. So gonna shoot for 9. Not gonna lie, warm up fell a little hard on this particular movement. So we just really got to see what I can do today. But yeah, 9 would be nice with some kelsos at the end. Come on. Yeah, that's it. Kelsos. Nine was ugly, not gonna lie, but that just means there's room for improvement, right? Alrighty. Back offset. You know the drill. Trying to do one more than I did last time. And last time, I managed to squeeze out 10. That's the bottom end of the rep range, intended rep range. So, 11 would be nice today. Alrighty, this will be a great test for the low light capabilities on this camera because it's supposed to be pretty good in low light. And honestly, it's only on 800 ISO right now. I think that's the lowest ISO in S-Log3, so must not think it's too dark in here. Yeah, I was warming up with this. Did feel a bit heavy, but fuck it. 8 to 10. Let's just see what we can do. Let's not make excuses for ourselves. Let's just do it. I'm also sitting a little lower. There's an excuse. But I am, this is just fact. I am sitting lower, and it is kind of like keeping me, like, my arms a little more parallel to the ground in comparison to, like, where I was sitting up here. They're, like, more pointed at the ground. So here, they're I think, a bit more of a disadvantage. But we'll really have to see. Last time I was able to squeeze out 8. let's see if I'm able to at least do the same in this position. All right, well, I matched in arguably a harder position, so that's pretty good. Once again, shift your perspective. Maybe, yeah, it would have been nice to get 9 instead, but at least I was able to match, and I have the understanding that this position that I'm currently in, the seat's lower, it's pushing my arms a little bit higher up, it's creating a little bit more tension on the biceps, and once again having weak wrists and all sorts of shit excuses. But instead of going, damn, I'm a pussy, like I suck, blah 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 blah, and crying about it, I fucking matched 8 from last time. I'm pretty happy about that. And if I remember correctly, I remember the squeeze and the eccentric portion, like how it all felt better in my opinion today. So there's a win right there. On to the next set. Alrighty, let's match 8. Yeah, let's match 8. That wasn't too bad. Ugh. Ugh. 9 for sure wasn't happening, but matched 8. Didn't even have to use my reps, so pretty happy. And my wrists are getting uncomfortable, but it's only when I supinate. When I start supinating, it starts getting uncomfortable. So luckily with the benefit of this particular machine is the handles rotate. So as I'm coming up, I can supinate a little bit more just to get a nicer squeeze, because I feel like the squeeze is a lot better here than here. But I can just do it enough to get that squeeze without hurting my wrist. And then as I'm coming down, if I maintain that supinated position, yeah, my wrist starts burning. So luckily, on my way down, I can start rotating into a neutral hammer position. And maybe that's just like a more complex way to do it, but it's helping me not have so much pain here and get a good squeeze on my bicep. So there's the mind muscle control, there's the hypertrophy, then there's not as much pain and negative pain. A little bit of pain like from a stretch or whatever, is normal, and I wouldn't even call that pain, it's just stretch, discomfort, if you will. But yeah, man, that just feels so much better. I'm so glad I switched to this machine. Alrighty, finally back off set time. And last time we were able to get 11. Once again, I'll be very happy to match 11 in this position. But 12 would be cool. Let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the actual movement itself. Whew, matched it, so happy with that. All right, let's see how much I can do with 40 today. less than last time, but still in the rep range. Alrighty, now we just gotta match 8. Alrighty. This angle is pretty close, but once again, this is the fun thing about filming for yourself rather than a client or something. You have a lot more creative freedom and a lot more room to just play around. I'm not gonna get mad at myself if I fuck up this, angle or something like that. So, 10 to 12. Yeah, if I went for 12, I was gonna hump that shit up. But that's it for today.